Welcome back to Blackthornprod. I'm Noah, and this is the 5th episode in a series about the progress I make on my puzzle platformer video game. So, the month of February was pretty taken up. It began with me taking part in the TV Game Jam, then going on holiday, getting the flu, and finally hosting my own game jam and creating a game for it as well. But thankfully I've been able to get back to work on my game this past week, after almost a whole month. It was a little hard finding the motivation to get back to work on it after such a long pause. I had lost most of my momentum and had kind of forgotten what exactly needed to be done. But soon I was back into it, finishing up levels for the switching mechanic part of the game. For those who don't know, this is when the player can hit space to switch the colors of the game world. So all that was black will turn white and vice versa. I'd already designed the levels using ugly boxes, so all I needed to do was add art. So with the use of Photoshop, that's what I did. It was a pretty relaxing process. I'm trying my best to make each level look as unique as possible, to keep the player interested and engaged. So to do so, I changed the sky's color from dark, dangerous reds to mysterious and magical purples, and add strange monster shapes in the sky or draw a unique looking platform for each level. With the art complete for all these levels on Wednesday, I decided that the next step was to flesh out the game's story through some small cutscenes. I'd written down the core storyline in Evernote, but now I needed to tell it to players, through the gameplay and art of course, but I knew I would need to have cutscenes, and also some NPCs scattered across the levels and their dialogue. So first of all I wrote another outline for the story, really figuring out what cutscenes I would like to have, and where the levels should be between these cutscenes. I ended up making 3 small cutscenes, and it was a lot of fun. First of all, I would sketch quick thumbnail drawings of how the cutscene should play out. This gave me a more clear idea of how long it would be and what illustrations I would need to create, because that's the next step, creating nice illustrations and particle effects for the cutscene. Then I would import all these illustrations inside of Camtasia Studio 9, which is the awesome video editing software I use to make my YouTube and Udemy videos, but is also the tool I decided to use for my game's cutscenes. I used it to make cool scene transitions between illustrations and animate some simple things, like having an image slowly scale up or down. Sure, I could do all this directly inside of Unity, but it would take a lot more time and programming, having each image appear and disappear at the right time, and transition nicely and so on. Plus, when I do add sounds and music to these cutscenes, doing so inside of Camtasia will also be a lot easier, quicker and more flexible. And then thanks to Unity's powerful video player component, having a video play in your game is a piece of cake. So all I'll need to do when the cutscenes are complete is render them as MP4s, import the files in Unity, and add them to my cutscene scenes. Now again, all I did was the art and simple animations for these 3 cutscenes. I've not yet added music or sounds to any of them. At some point this week, I thought I might create completely animated, epic cutscenes full of movement and life, but it would have taken a very, very long time, and besides, I like the style and visuals of the cutscenes I've made. They go very well with the rest of the game. Now, I still have a few more cutscenes to make, which I will do next week. So, since we're kind of on the topic of needing to add sounds and music to the game's cutscenes, and also to all these levels I've made, I think it's a good time for me to let you know that I'm searching for a composer to help me bring this world to life. As you know, music isn't my strong point, so working alongside someone who knows and loves the craft would be awesome. If you're interested in this project, just send me a message via Twitter, my email, or DM me on Discord with a link to your music or previous games you've made soundtracks for. With that said, before wrapping up this short devlog video, I'm happy to let you know that I've finally come up with a name for this game, The Dreadful Whispers. If you've watched the second devlog episode in this series, you'll know what this game is about and the story I'm trying to tell with it. I feel like this title not only goes well with the scary, usually dark and mysterious atmosphere of the game, but also sums up some of the story, that the character's head is filled with dark voices whispering lies, telling him stories of non-existent monsters and dangers that, as a result, hold him back from reaching the golden figure atop the mountain. What do you guys think of the title? I would love to hear your thoughts on it. Anyway, to recap, I made game art for levels, and I created some cutscenes this week. Next week I'll be working on more cutscenes and hopefully have a composer alongside me to begin working on the game's soundtrack. I'm also planning on starting very soon a fun level design contest. There you'll have the opportunity to dream up levels for the Dreadful Whispers, and my favorites will end up in the final game with your name in the credits as an additional level designer. When that contest starts, I'll release a video on this channel with all the rules and project files you'll need to create awesome levels. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that and hope that a few of you will take on the challenge. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Okay, thanks for watching this video. As usual, all feedback and words of encouragement are so welcome and appreciated. Here's an extra thank you to these awesome people who support me and my content financially via Patreon. You guys are awesome. Alright, see you soon. Cheers.